When I first saw the news that over 400 accounts were compromised, immediately I was like, oh my god, it's my money safe. And there was this mad rush to find my phone only to be greeted by the 2FA. Thankfully, my money was safe. But this begs the question, is my money now truly safe in crypto.com? Should I shift my money elsewhere? And more importantly, should I actually sell the CRO coins? Because if you want to get the card, you need to buy CRO. Or is it actually a good time, undervalued opportunity to buy the CRO coin when it's cheap? And we're going to talk about all of this in this video. So first up, before we can even talk or make good decisions, we need to understand what actually happened. So I started researching to understand the depths of this problem, and it all started with users reporting that cryptos were missing from their wallets. And the most notable person was Ben Baller, who's a crypto influencer, and he noticed that over 4 Ethereum was missing from his wallet. That's like $13,000. Yeah, you're not going to miss that. Then eventually this escalated to a much bigger issue where all of the users were stopped from being able to withdraw their money, and subsequently they had to reset their 2FA. The CEO of crypto.com actually tweeted in response to this incident and said that there was some issue happening and that the funds were safe. However, a security company with the name of this estimated that over $15 million worth of cryptos was gone from crypto.com or stolen. In fact, it was quote-unquote cleansed or cycled or hidden, right, through this platform called Tornado Cash, which is where a lot of thieves send the cryptos to kind of cycle it or make it untraceable and then cash it out. So all this was very panicky during the first day, and nobody knows what exactly is going on because there were no details as to how the accounts were compromised, if it was even compromised. It was also unclear if this was internal or external, or if it's like individual faults, like their phones got hacked and therefore, people could steal from their crypto.com account. So earlier today, the CEO tweeted that over 400 accounts were compromised and all the funds that were missing were basically returned to the individuals. So first up, is my money actually safe, and how do I actually keep it quote-unquote safer? So based on my analysis, I have derived that it is definitely safe because in my earlier video, I've reviewed over 20 different exchanges, and crypto.com was one of my top picks. One of the key reasons why I felt crypto.com was the safest was because they have over $100 million in insurance. So it's not like an insurance fund that they set up, but rather they paid an external provider to provide $100 million in insurance. When it's an external party that's insuring a company, you're going to claim it. If it's $15 million that's stolen, for example, you would claim from the insurance to pay it because that's what you pay the insurance company for. So I just checked it this morning and that page is still up, so that crypto.com is currently still insured. So apart from the $100 million insurance fund, the CEO also retweeted that they have first upgraded their security systems and number 2, added basically delay mechanisms such as like a 24-hour delay period after adding a new wallet. And that's a really good thing because imagine, trying to steal someone's money, but they will be informed and you have to wait 24 hours before you can actually steal their money. So even if you don't read your phone in a day, I'm pretty sure the hacker wouldn't just hack one person. So when they try to do it to like 100%, I'm pretty sure they'll be caught. Yeah, I first noticed this security feature in Wholenot, which is a crypto interest-bearing company, which I found quite irritating, but it made a lot of sense because the last thing I want is for someone to be able to get access to my account, add a new address and take the money and run instantly. And now this brings me to my second question. If you happen to be one of those people who keeps a lot of money in crypto.com because maybe you want the $50,000 or the $500,000 crypto.com card, then you'll be asking, should I actually move my cryptos elsewhere? Well, there's 2 schools of thought. The first one is the good or best practices, and the second one is my own personal thought. So of course, a good practice would be to diversify your basket and don't put all your eggs in one platform. So maybe put it in a couple of exchanges. So that means if you have $10,000, you're going to put like $2,500 in 4 different exchanges, for example. Or put it in a cold storage wallet like Ledger, which is one of the most reputable cold storage companies around. But this is where I differ from the quote-unquote common good practices, because I personally think that if I want to put my money somewhere, I want to put it in the safest place. And insurance is a very important thing, and regulatory standing is another very important thing. So in my opinion, I think crypto.com has done relatively well in these 2 areas. So what I'm doing is that I'm actually putting a lot of money in crypto.com, but to be really honest with you, I'm actually putting most of my money inside Ledger, which is a cold storage wallet. However, if I were to try to advise, like let's say my mom, who's not technically savvy, I wouldn't ask her to put in multiple platforms because number one, it's going to be very hard for her to track. Number two, if there are multiple platforms, it's going to be a lot easier for her to get tricked or scammed by someone rather than having one place which is really secure, which is it's easy for me to give her instruction. Like I tell her, hey, don't ever reply to any scammer. If you want, any management, just ask me to help you. If she has 4 platforms to manage, it's going to be a lot harder for her. So that's just my 2 cents on the matter. And now let's move on to point number 3, which is, should you sell your CRO coins if you're holding on to it right now? And honestly, I don't have a price target for crypto.com because I can't judge like how much the company is making and what's the burn rate compared to the emissions rate. But what I can do is to get a sensing of the market sentiments after this 400 accounts were compromised. So I saw a couple of videos talking about crypto.com being hacked, and when I scrolled down to look at the comment section below, it seems that generally people are relatively, forgiving and accepting of the fact that, hey, something bad happened, but I think crypto.com managed it okay. People didn't really seem very panicky when it comes to these issues, maybe because it was just 400 people in the world that were affected. That's why most people are like, nah, I'm not affected, doesn't bother me. But apart from YouTube comments, it's also good to see the price action of the CRO coin to get a sensing what the entire market actually thinks of this crypto.com security incident. So if you look at crypto.com over the past 7 days, it's on a downtrend, which is a bad thing. But if you contrast this to the Bitcoin price over the past 7 days, it looks like it's just a general decline in the market, but it doesn't seem that crypto.com was punished at all for this security breach. However, if you look at the FTX, it seems that people are speculating that FTX will be able to steal a lot of market share from crypto.com based on this incident. Currently, crypto.com is priced at $11 billion in market cap. And contrast this to Binance, which is worth $78 billion in market cap. I personally don't think that crypto.com is 1/8 the size of Binance. So relatively speaking, I think it's cheaper than Binance. But when you compare it to FTX, which is about the same price, I actually don't know who's better. I see a lot more people entering and trying cryptos for the first time, and crypto.com being one of the most beginner-friendly platforms out in the market, I think crypto.com is poised to experience significant growth to possibly reach closer to Binance's valuation. This is not advice. Personally, I would probably hold on to my crypto.com card, but I wouldn't basically put in a lot more money to try to increase and get the next tier of card until I see more clarity on what the security breach was. So if you think that crypto.com is going to the moon, well, do me a big favor and smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. However, if you want to withdraw your cryptos from crypto.com, I made a video on how you can do that over here, or check out what YouTube recommends you over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay safe, everyone.